All right, so it's another time of this awesome training. So I know everybody have been busy throughout the week, and for those of us who is going on with the challenge, kudos to you, because the truth is you can only force a horse to get to the stream. You can't force a horse to drink water. Okay. And secondly, if you have somebody who is pushing you to success, okay? Let me put this microphone here a little bit. So if you have somebody who is pushing you to success, you should tap into it and run with it, because everything has time, okay? Everything has time and season. What I mean by time and season is that it will get to a time it will be difficult to see me, or it will be difficult to have this close relationship that you have right now. So let's build it to a certain level where you can stand on your own and then begin to learn on your own, and then you begin to know what's going on. You understand? So please, for everyone who has done their assignments, I really appreciate you taking that time to get the work done. That is how this stuff works. Let me just quickly spin up my server, and then we'll be good. So for everyone who has done the assignment, I really appreciate and commend you. All right. And for those of you too who have not done the assignments, I really appreciate you too. And try as much as possible to, let's try as much as possible to get it done. Okay, that's the only way it can, it's going to help us. So today is going to be another roller coaster. All right, it's going to be another roller coaster, and we'll be all set to run. So let me just log into my server, and we'll be all good. If you have any question, you know the rules already. Just type it, drop it in the comment section, or drop it in the if you're on Facebook, drop it in the comment section. If you're on the live Zoom, you can just chat, drop it in the chat room. You don't have to send me a message privately. Put it so everybody can see, and then so that when I answer your question, everybody can also learn from that question. Okay, 18200. Okay, so everybody can learn from that. From that. So please, if you have issues, just try and drop a comment, and then we'll be able to solve it. So today it's another day. We just we're just gonna roller coast and then enjoy today's ministry. All right, so I think I have a SQL server on this box. I'm not sure, so let me just quickly check that out. Hopefully, let's see. SSMS. Oh, really? I don't have SSMS in this box. That's strange. Where did I install my SSMS? Let me go back to my server. See, you can see all my virtual machines right here. You can see all my servers. Let's see. Where did I install? Yeah, I installed SQL one. So why am I not having that? Okay, let me check again. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, so we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at that. Let's see. Or did I set it up in my domain controller? That would be so nasty of me to set up SQL Server in the domain controller mistakenly. But let me check and see what's going on. Okay. Let's see. This is my domain controller. And then let's see where I set it up. It's not here either. Oh, did I delete? Who is doing that? Oh, God. Get out. Okay, so let me get out of this domain controller. So how many of us are ready today? How many of Microsoft has just sent me will expire? What's the way forward? Okay. Um, what's the way forward? You say Microsoft sent you a mail that your subscription will expire in a week. What's the way forward? You know, I told you guys that I was going to see how I can, build a data center in the house, and then so that at least one person can, not everybody, the people who can't really afford it can have a server to log into and in practice. Okay, so I'm on it right now. As you can see, if can you see my screen? Can everybody see my screen, right? Okay, you can see my screen. So as you can see, I just named different servers: Agege, Asokoro, Asolo, Calabar, Ikeja, Lagos, Maryland, Ojota, Baby. So these are virtual machines. Okay, they are off right now. These are virtual machines that, when I assign it to somebody, like maybe for instance, I assign this to Dari, Dari will have username and password, and anytime he wants to practice, he can always just log in and practice. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at to do. I just bought two servers which I'm using. If you listen carefully, there's a small noise at the background. That's my server, making so much. So I just give me, before 1 week, I should be able to, set up as many servers as possible for probably everybody. You know, it's costing me a lot, but you will not understand. Like, it's costing me so much, but I just have to do what I have to do. So everybody will have at least, one server to play with. Just one. You don't need a domain controller. I'm the one who has a domain controller. Okay. I'm the one. So you can see from my system here, this is my domain controller right here. So I have the domain controller, then everybody have different servers. Okay. So which is going to be assigned to everybody. You just log in, and then practice is going to be on 24/7. So anytime you log in, you're there. So that's what I'm looking at. So I'm still in the next 1 week, I should be able to buy two more servers and then set it up, and then but for those people who can't really afford, because I know if your Azure expires, Azure is going to be charging you in dollars. Okay, Microsoft is going to be charging you in dollars, so it will be difficult to, because of the situation in Nigeria right now, it will be difficult for you to maintain, that server all the time. So that's why I, I just came up with this. This is like a server. So when you get to, in fact, when you are in the office, sorry, I'm trying to digress a little bit. When you are in the office, this is how everybody's system is being seen on over the network, exactly as you are saying it. That's how it is on the network. But you're not the one in charge. Somebody's in charge. So all you have to do is just come into the system and log into the server just the way I just logged in. This is I think this is my domain controller, I guess. Let me see. This should be my domain controller, 200. Let's see. This is my domain controller. Okay, this is not my domain controller. Okay. So, all right. So let's get started officially now. But I don't know why maybe I forgot to install SQL Server on this box. So I'm just going to run through that in 10-15 minutes. Hopefully, we can get that all sorted. Let me just quickly rush that out. But I know I installed it. So download server 20. Let me use 2012 for now, just so that I want it to be pretty fast, because I want it to be pretty fast. So as this is installing, any questions? Do you have any questions? Suggest. I don't want Express. Sorry, I'm not an Express person. If you have any question, issues, you know, let me know before I get this all sorted out. So let's Windows Server CSP pack. Let's see. Let me install this. Any question? Let me know if you have any question. Just type it and let's move forward ASAP. Do you have any question? Any question, anybody? Do you have any issues? What issues you faced, or And secondly, please, I beg you, try and read that challenge. By Monday, by Monday, I'll start sending the rest. I'll send Monday through Friday. So I don't keep sending one day every day at a time. So I'll send Monday through Friday, it would be like 5 days. Try as much as possible to study it, study and understand it. If there are things that you don't understand there, let Google help you, or you put it on the group. I like the person who said, let's start doing reviews, to understand how this works. You know what? Guess what? What will give you the job is your mouth. Ability for you to explain before you even click the mouse. Nobody will come to the office and say, hey, come and click the mouse. No, it is what you can explain. That is what gives you the job. Then when you now get a job, then that's when you start clicking your mouse and working. So try whatever you're doing, you're learning, try and see how you can explain it. And let me shock you, the best way to learn is to teach someone else. Period. The best way to learn. So find somebody who's having problem and teach the person. Trust me, you will be shocked at the way it's work like magic. If anybody has problem, don't be scared to teach person in the group, in the WhatsApp group, so that you can learn as fast as possible. That's one of the fastest way you can learn. So somebody says, my question is, why is it that my VM always have network issues after rebooting? Probably it's just internet or something, or if you reboot and your stuff should be on static IP. If it's not on static, then you have an issue. So if somebody says, for me, I notice it's reading days. Does it mean that it will expire and won't be able to have access to VM after? Your Windows Server expires in 180 days, okay? That's like 6 months, right? So if you have 6 months worth of training or worth of learning, when it expires, don't be scared. Just reinstall and then you're good. It's a trial period, okay? It's normal. It's normal for you to expire in 6 months, but that doesn't mean you won't have access to it. Once it expires, then you can just shut it down. So someone says, my server is becoming slow to process in Azure. What could be the issue? It might just be your internet access. We don't really have good internet in Nigeria. We don't really have that, fantastic. We don't really have that fantastic internet in Nigeria. So that might just be the issue. So someone says, I always have problem with my node 1, no network after, someone said no network after static IP. Now, let me quickly explain this, okay? If you don't have any internet on your node 1, node 2, and Windows Server, it doesn't matter. You only just need internet because maybe you want to browse inside your VM, or you want to do some things inside when it comes to internet. Normally, we don't open all those servers to the world because it's it should be within your network, connected using your IP addresses. So don't be scared if you can't browse on those things, but make sure that those servers are connected. It doesn't really matter. All right, it doesn't really matter. So I'm thinking we're going to spend like another hour or 1.5, an hour and a half to cover a couple of stuff. So Ayo said, my backup files on Azure keeps disappearing. I always don't find it there, and the next day. If your backup cannot be disappearing, I don't know how you configured it, but your backup should not disappear, all right? Because if your backup file disappears and there's an issue with your server, how do you How do you restore? You understand? How are you going to restore? So we'll check that out again. We'll check that out and see. How many of us have that backup issue where your backup files disappeared? I don't think I had that. I have that issue, or I had that issue, except for Ayo right now that is, saying that he has an issue. So far so good. I see a lot of people are sending assignments to me. Fantastic, like super fantastic. That's because the only way you can be accountable is by you being accountable. Okay? Whatever assignments you finished, send them to me. I check everything. Trust me. I check everything. And if I don't see what I'm supposed to see, then I'll boost you back and say, hey, this you've not finished yet. So keep sending those assignments to me, and that's the way I can be motivated to say, okay, the guys I'm training, they are doing their best to also do their homework. All right. So I'm just going to finish this one in a couple of seconds. I'm not going to do serious. I'm not going to do custom installation. It's just going to be straightforward. Just going to be straightforward installation, so that we can all officially get started. So today we're going to be touching concerning somebody's sending a message. We're going to touch a topic regarding let me check we're going to touch about regarding maintenance plan. We're still on maintenance plan, but this time around I'm going to show you a script. When I mean script, codes, I'm going to show you a script that will help you set up your maintenance plan without stress and show you how to manage them and set them automatically and leave it and let it run. So this time around, we're not going to use that maintenance plan task. You remember the one we did where you created the maintenance plan, but for this, I'm going to show you today, it's going to be strictly script. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Somebody says, sir, if someone mistakenly deletes his database without backing it up first, is there any way to restore it? Because I did that when I was practicing, I couldn't restore it. Chooks, there is no way. If you have a backup, if you have a database and you delete it without backup, I don't understand that question, no, Chooks. It's gone, it's gone. Old Roger is dead and gone to his grave. You cannot restore. You cannot. It's gone, it's gone. That's why it's called backup. When there's an issue, you restore from the backup, period. No backup, something happens to your database, nothing. They will just fire you. In fact, they will fire you and put you in jail. In fact, you won't even have that time to even delete backup and to even delete, because as a database guy, you have to backup. Yes, troops need some virtual slap. You have to back up. So it's normal. There's some things you don't even think about that you don't have backup. There might be performance issues in your server, but with backup here, that's like number one. You can imagine Facebook should just crash without backup. All your comments, all your likes, all your pictures, all your videos, all your live videos, they will be gone. That can be possible now. Because there's a backup, because there's a backup, that's why if you upload picture today, 1 year today, it will remind you and say, hey, you posted this, because it brought it out from backup from, so what's going on here? That's kind of what's going on my server right here. So it's necessary and important for you to back up. If you don't back up, then you will be back down at work. Okay, so someone said, Toby Lola said, why is it that we operating via VM? For me, I can't back up my automatic backup on any folder in my file, not until I back it up on my SQL, like programs, files. I'm trying to understand what you're asking. For me, I can't back up automatic backup on any folder in my file, not until I back it up on my SQL. No, 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 no. You should be able to do that. Ifeanyi said, me too. I noticed it was when I saved it in the D drive. Yeah, backup files don't disappear like that. Backup files don't disappear like that. So you have to. Okay, someone said I'm having the same issue. Somebody I had the same issue, but I fixed it. Okay. So there's no way your backup is so important that you have a dedicated server. At work, you have a dedicated server to check on that backup. You have a dedicated server. Oh, this is an update. I see. Oh, sorry. I'm downloading the wrong thing. Let me just get out of here. Sorry. I must be downloading. I'm downloading and sorry. So you have to back up. Please don't um don't even try to. The backup is so important. MXDM. I don't want to go to this MSDM before, but it looks as if that would be. No, I don't want to. Okay. I have the server up and running with. Okay, it looks as if it's Ojota. Let me check. Let me put on this Ojota server because I know I have. Yeah, let me put on this Ojota because I know I have a SQL server that I already installed all fully set. I think it's this Ojota server. So let me power it up. Let me shut down this. Let me shut this down. Let me just power it down. All right, power down. That's going off. Why Ojota is powering up? So any other issues, any other questions, any other issues? Because it's nice for us to deal with some issues because I see a lot of people having issues and you notice that those issues we had in that first 2 weeks, they've all reduced now. They've all reduced, So now we are in like autopilot. Okay. Somebody says Azure Cloud is not like that. Even if you don't stop your backup plan, 20 gig will be stored in the next morning, no loss. Yep. I hope you. Okay. Anyway, make sure you pay attention to when your subscription expires because when it expires, it automatically demotes the account to free accounts, and then whatever you do then at your own risk. That's part of the reason why I decided to try to spin up a server for everybody so that you know that you're not spending any money on server issues in terms of practice. All you need is just one server. There's no issue of node 1, node 2, node, just one server. So I have the domain controller that oversees everybody. That's for wrong. So, so let me close this because I don't need it anymore. All right, so those of us using VM are the real MVP. Wahala big. Yeah, I know, Prince. Yeah, because really, there are too much issues when it comes to Azure, especially for funds. Seeing your system speed and performance, they sweet my mind. I told you no. It's not like well, I mean, it's like the server I bought is quite big. Okay, so I mean it's quite huge. All right. I'm sorry it's wasting little time, but I know that I have this done already, so that I didn't check out which of the server I installed it on. So I'm just gonna check and see. IP config. So I have 224. All right. So let me check this out and say 224. Okay. So let me choice administrator. so let's see. All right. Okay, let's see. I have my SQL Server here. Bam. Yeah, this is where I have it. That's because I knew I had it somewhere, but you know, let's see my SSMS. Where is my SSMS? Let me type it here. SSMS. All right, good. So, all right. So, what's set down? Because I know I already have it. So, but I didn't know exactly which server it was. All right. So, let's keep the ball rolling. Now, we've gone through backup and restore. We've gone through quite a lot. It looks as if we've not gone through a lot. We've gone through a lot, but there's still a long way to go. So today, last week rather, I showed you how you can set up maintenance plan and what those maintenance plan would do for you. Okay, that is the manual way of doing things. Okay, a manual way of doing things. So this time around, I'm going to show you the automatic way of doing things using a script. So what that script will do, that script will help you to create all your maintenance plan jobs. But it's not going to create it in the maintenance plan. I'm going to show you. Let this guy pop up. It's not going to create it under that maintenance plan, but it will create it under your SQL agent job. Because if you notice that any plan you created always show up in your agent job. How many of you noticed that? All right. So when that is done, it will help you to create those plans, and then we'll take it up from there. It's automatic. You just set it up. Yeah, Fisayo, you just set it up. You run the script. You set it up, and you're good to go. In the morning when you wake up or when you get to work, you can check what happens, and then you can always deactivate it. Okay, make sure you always deactivate if you're not using it. All right. So let me go to my server. Let me get connected, and then we all will be all set. So this is my server, Jota Y2K. I hope, okay. So now we are connected to our server. They're out. We're connected to our server, Jota 2K19. That's the name of our instance, okay? All right. Where is my, okay, yeah, I was wondering why this agent was not there. All right, so let me start the agents. Start the agent, and then we're all set. I think I have a database already restored here called sales. So under sales, you have different tables. So this sales is just AdventureWorks database, okay? It's just that I just changed it from AdventureWorks to sales database. Do you understand? All right, so now if you go to my job, you can see it's literally empty. This one came with it when you're installing SQL Server, okay? So you can see that it's pretty empty. All right, so the one I showed you showed you last week was under management, and then you have what? Maintenance plan. Right, so today we're not going to talk about maintenance. We're going to talk about maintenance plan, but in another form, using script, using one of the most popular maintenance plan scripts in SQL Server, used by thousands and thousands and millions of companies around the world. Super easy, okay? So that's what we're going to do. So let's open a browser. Yeah, Rana, yeah. So let's go to a browser, and then, okay, so let's go to Google, and then let's go to, it's called Ola Allegren. Okay, Ola Allegren. Don't worry about Ola, it's not a Nigerian person, it's Swedish guy. All right, so let's go to his website. Now, this is a SQL Server maintenance solution. It was specifically built to run your backups, to run your integrity checks, to run your index and statistics maintenance on all SQL Server instances. So it means that whatever you want to do as regards maintaining your database in terms of backups, in terms of restore, in terms of integrity checks and index and all those things, you need this script. It's super easy and easy to install. Super easy and easy to install. So we're going to dive into it one after the other. All right. Let's go to the backup. So you can see it says the backup is a SQL Server maintenance solution stock procedure for backing up database. So basically, we're going to be touching all these gradually one after the other. Okay. Feel free to explore. All right. Feel free to explore. But we're going to download the main script. Let's go back to home. We're going to download the main script that comprises of all this. All right. So you click this. Once you click it, you can decide to open it if you want. It's super simple. You can decide to download and open, or just download, or just open straight. Let's run it under. Let's open it inside our management studio. All right. You will see a bunch of SQL Server scripts. All right, now you can see this is the script right here. It's super long, all right? It's super long. It's over, 10,000 lines of codes. So once you open that, you just run it. Don't even look at here. You can see my job is empty, right? Once I execute this code or this script, it creates a lot of jobs here. So let's go, execute. It takes a couple of seconds. All right, it only took 4 seconds. Look at where my mouse is right here, bottom right. Now let's refresh here. My job, let's refresh. And did you see everything he created? So you can see automatically it created every job. So what it did is it created backup for system database only. It created backup, differential backup for user database. It created a user database full. For backup, it created a log. Then for system database, it created what? Database integrity check. It also created database integrity check for user database. Remember the difference between user database and system, right? System database is the one that comes with SQL Server when you install it. Then user database is the one that you created, okay? You understand what I mean by that? So then the index maintenance, this is what it created the user. So you can see that these are all scripts that is needed, okay? Super easy. Let's close out of this. Let me walk you through what you need to understand and the changes that needs to be made. Before then, let me create where to back up. All right. Let me create a simple folder where to back up. All right. See. Okay. What's strong? Let's see. Oh, okay. See what's wrong with this folder. Come up now. I'm using like this. All right, so let's just create a simple folder on C drive. Okay, let me just create database folder and say database backup. Okay. All right, so we have this. All right, so let's leave that for now. Okay, so now we want to set up the database, the system database full backup. Right click on it and come to your properties. Okay, Once you come to your properties, that's where you start setting up stuff. And then steps, you click on steps. Once you click step, you click edit. Okay? So once you click edit, that is where you will now set up where you want to back up. All right, let me go back again. For those of you who just blinked and missed it, right click on one of the jobs, properties, steps, edit. All right, so now let's go back to the site. We are looking at backups right now. There are parameters that is needed. Okay, there are parameters that is needed. Okay, there are super easy to fix parameter that is needed. So let me check where we are. Okay, yeah. So these are the parameters that is needed. It says backup all user database using blah 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 blah. Now you can see that what we have here is similar to what we have here. All right. So now for you to understand what is going on, okay, don't worry about this is user, this is system. They're all just the same thing. They all do the same thing. Okay. So if we want to check this out, here you can see on the site the directory where you want to back up your database. You want to put it on C drive, right? So it's easier to just come here, okay, and say, okay, let me edit this and say column. Remember, we have this file here or this folder here. So we want to put it here. You just copy it and paste it here. And do what? Close the column. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Let me do it again. Let me close all this. Let me open this again. I want to edit this. Yes, I'm trying to repeat it now. Right click. Because right now, if you right click properties and steps and edit, it says directory, no. That means nothing to, you're not backing up to anywhere. It's just no, nothing. So now we want to back it up to this folder right here. So you create your simple folder or your simple practice folder, paste it here. You can just paste it here. Make sure you close it using what's that? What's that again? Is this semicolon? It's not semicolon. Is this semicolon? That's not semicolon. So you open and close it. All right. Somebody should remind me. What's this again? I forgot. What's this? This little column. Yeah. So you open the column and then you close it. That job is done for the day. If you come to advanced, here is telling you which output do you want to do you want to output the file in terms of history of what, history of like a text file, like history of the job. Okay, quotation mark and not quotation mark now. I think it's not quotation. I don't think it's quotation mark. All right, so let's close this out. Let's go to general. So we're set with this. So we want to back up this system database into this folder right here. If you check the website, you will see that it has the same concept. All right. And then when you're done, you just click OK. And then you click OK. All right. So let's go back. Let's run it manually. All right. We've not set the schedule yet. We're going to show you how to set this. So we're just running manually. All right. Let's right click and do what? Start job at step. So once you run it, let's check what happens here. Did you see the file just dropped? Success. Did you see that? Let's go to the folder. Did you see the folder just dropped? Did you see that it saved your master your model and your MSDB. That is your system database. Does that make sense now? Did you get it now? Like one of my friends in Instagram. All right, so you can see it's super easy. Let's go inside. You have full. All right, let's go back. You have full. Let's go back. You have full. That is for the system database, remember? All right, good. Let's go for the user database, full. Do the same thing. Right click, properties, steps, edit. You do the same thing here by changing this directory. This is a directory right here. All right. Make sure you start with colon, paste your directory, close the colon, and then OK, OK. Now let's run it manually. Right click, step. Let's see what happens here. All right, success. Let's check our folder. Did you see that? It backed up demo database, full. It backed up sales database, full. Are you getting me now? Apostrophe. I'm not using English. Give me apostrophe, question mark, quotation. All right, now we're done with the full. Now, for the user database, let's do differential now. You get me now? Let's right click on the differential. Properties. Steps. Yeah, apostrophe. Edit. And then you do the same thing here. All right? Like I said, remember, copy, paste, and then close it. And then you do what? Okay, okay. Let's run it manually. Right click, start job at step. Somebody says, do we have to do the same backup each time for user and do we have to do the same backup each time for user and system? Yes, you have to, but you won't have to do it manually. I'm showing you the manual process and then show you the automated process. Does that make sense? All right, so we're done with this. Let's do log for user database. Same process, right click, properties, steps, edits, and then insert your words. Insert it, close it, okay, okay. Let's run it manually, right click, start job at the step. That is completed. Let's go back there and see what's going on. So we have, this is where we save that backup, server name, and you can see the demo has full, differential, and log. All right? You see this sales, it has what? Full and differential. Now, guess what? Who can tell me why sales didn't have log? Because this demo has full, has log. Again, who can tell me this question is for 5K? Who can tell me, you know, we did a backup for this full for user database, and then Saeed don't chop my 5,000 naira. Oh, yeah, Saeed don't chop my 5K. Oh. Yes, Saeed, correct. Because the sales database is in simple recovery model, period. Send me your account number, Saeed. DM me, period. Because that database is in simple. So any database that is in simple recovery, you can't back up the log. Does that make sense? So let's go back. Let's just check. See this demo here. Let's right click and let's check the recovery. So I don't chop my 5K. Anyway, so options. You can see the demo is in full. That was why you can back up the log. Let's go to sales, properties, options, simple recovery model. Does that make sense to you, everybody now? So that is why. So if I come back here and change the sales database to full and try to run that backup again. Okay, Sahid, good. And try to run that backup again here. Where is it? Run that backup here again. See what happens. Let's run it and see that log should be there. Look at it. Sales. Okay, let me refresh that. Oh, sorry, I think I made a mistake. Let me try it again. Let's user database. All right, so let's go back there and see what's happening. Steps, edits. All right, so this is good. This is good. So let's refresh and then let's start it again and see what's happened. If that is going to back up or not. Let's go back. I don't know why it's not backing up, but it should. But anyway, that is the process. So every time, let me refresh this database. It should. Let's go back here. Maybe it's still simple. See, okay, it's in full. All right. So, Samuel, today's your first day. You're on a long thing, you have to join the class and ask people because we've gone a little far. All right, so that is how you can, you can start learning all those things gradually. So now we've done the full for system, this and this and this. Let me do this once again. All right. Oh, sorry, I closed it out. So we've done the backup for system database and then the backup for what? For user database. Okay, we've done all that now. So basically, what is left now is to fix the database integrity. This is strange. Anyway, so we need to work on the database integrity check. It's the same thing, but this time around, let's just go back and check the properties of the system database. Same thing, steps, edit. Nothing serious to do here. Nothing serious. Okay, we're just going to leave it as it is and then manually start the job. So now it's checking and making sure everything is okay as regards system integrity check for system database. Let's do the same for user. Right click and start the job. Okay, right click and start the job, and then that will take a little while, just like because there's. Okay, someone says, I'm completely lost. I do have an insight about database management, but I wouldn't mind if anyone put me through. No, you tell us where you are lost, then we can put you through. Yeah, Anthony. All right, so we can see it's done now. Let's just right click and see history. All right, right click and say view history. You can see this is where you can view your history and the things you've done. You can drill down here and click one of them. It will show you what it did. These are all what the execution did. All right. So same thing for, let me expand this. These are just job histories, mind you, okay? Don't get confused. This is just job histories, that the things you've run, all right? Job history. So if you click here, the same thing, you will see that we ran this twice. Okay, you can see And then, so if you click all the job histories, you will see you have all your jobs intact. Okay? So that is that for manual labor. Now let's automate it by giving it a schedule, because you're going to automate your job. Okay? You're going to automate your task schedule. All right. So let's start with the system database. You go back to your properties again. Properties, steps. So this time around, schedule or schedule. All right. So you can see that there's nothing in the schedule, right? Nothing there. It's empty. So you click new. You should be conversant with this page already. If you've done your maintenance plan practices, you should be able to set up this. Okay. So this is database backup underscore system underscore database, or databases, whichever one, underscore full. Now, the reason why you want to do all this so that you can differentiate which is so important. Naming your job is super important. All right? Naming your job is super important. So you have to make sure you name your job so that when you are referring to it, you know exactly what you're referring to. All right? So this will be enabled because it's going to be reoccurring. Okay, it's not just one time. All right, we're going to do this for the sake of this training. Let's do it daily, and then for every let's do for every 10 seconds. All right, starting from today. Okay, no end dates. Let's start from my time in my server says 11:55, 56 a.m. Oh, 11:56 a.m. So I'm just going to quickly click this. Okay, okay. And then let's leave it. And let's go to another one. Same thing. Right click, properties. This time around, you're not choosing step. You're choosing what? Schedule. All right? Or schedule, whatever you want to call it. New. Put it there what you want to do. Let's work on daily. Let's work on every 10 seconds, starting from 11:56. Okay, okay, let's leave that. You do the same thing. So you're going to do the same thing to everyone. Steps, schedule, next. Now, Fisayo says, why do you use underscore instead of space? Does it matter when someone uses underscore or just space? Because now underscore is better. Space can cause you serious issue. Because sometimes you don't even know if it's double space you used and you went and put one single space. So it's better to use underscore. Okay. So when you're doing this kind of thing, it's better to use underscore. Does that make sense? Full. You can use underscore or dash. Okay. Or hyphen, whatever you want to call it. All right. So let's check for daily. Let's check for every 1 minute, starting from 11:57. Sorry, this is 11:57 a.m. And then okay, okay, and that's it. All right, let's even check this first one. Let's see if anything has run yet. Did you see? Did you see that? Did you see the history that we set every 10 seconds? Is it making sense to you guys now? You understand? So every 10 seconds this backup runs. All right, let's take a look at the second one. History. You see that it's running. So your backup is running gelenkely without stress. So once you set it, it's popping heavy, Florence, like it's popping heavy. So once you leave it, you're done with it, it will just be popping heavy. if we go back to our files here, where we place our backup files, you're going to see that it's popping heavy here. You can see popping heavy. So there's no way your backup will disappear according to who again, or Ayo. You see, it's just going to be popping heavy like that. So we need Speed Darlington now to come and help us here. You know, so you can see, let me go to that stage. This is strange. This is supposed to be, you know, log, but I'll check it out. So you can see how it's easy to get this done. If you don't deactivate this, it will keep doing what? It will keep popping heavy. If I refresh this now, you can see more and more, more and more. If I check this, you will see more. Do you see how it works? Until you see a red. Let me see if I can synchronize, if I can stimulate a red. Let me see if I can stimulate a red. Okay, let me see if I can stimulate a red. Let me see if I can stimulate a red here too. You know, just alter some things. Just alter some things. Let's see. All right. So now I've stimulated red. Let's view history. Let's see if we can find any red. Let it pop. Let's let it pop again. Let's see if there's any failure, and we'll see how. Let's just wait for a couple of seconds. Let me refresh it. All right. Did you see that red up there? You see this red here? You see this red here? You see? That's the error. Because I just simulated the error now. Okay? I just simulated the error. So now, you have to understand how to fix this error. Okay? You have to understand how to fix this error. If you don't fix it, look at it. Let me refresh again and see what happens. Your red will be popping heavy. Do you understand? Your red will just be popping heavy. You see that red? That is how, when you see red like that, your heart will cut. Say, what's the issue again? Because you have to troubleshoot. Is it making sense now? So let's check what the issue is here. It's going to be a little bit tricky because you have to check this message, because this is where your error message is. So guess what? You have to check executed and check one after the other. Okay? And check one after the other. And you're like, okay, what's the problem here? What's the problem? Oh, look at the problem here. Look at it. User data, and then, did you see where that issue is? Right? This is the issue. Did you see that? If you look at your system very well, for those of you who's looking at your phone, I can't help you. If you look at your system very well, you can see that the user underscore database was messed up. And then the directory where the database is supposed to go also was messed up. So when you see that like that, what do? Easy. You just come there. Either you right click or you just double click it. Okay, you can just double click it. Once you double click it, go to your steps, edit, and then you fix it. All right, you just put the right stuff, data base, system databases, right? And for the backup, it's there. Let's see, database backup, system databases. This is good. This is good. Let's check for the differential. You do steps, and then you edit. You're looking at the changes that was made. Look at it right here. You see the issues? Or so you see, you remove it, and then you see what happens here. Return it back to where it is, and then open. Okay. Once you do that, let's check our history now. So once you do that, any moment from now, you will see your greens will begin to pop in. Did you see that? Did you see this green? This first 3 greens. You fix it. It doesn't matter if it's capital or if the database type is in capital, or it doesn't matter. It can be used, it can be small, it can be capital. Godfrey. So do you understand that? So let's refresh again. You see it's popping heavy. Does that make sense to everybody? If you understand what I just did, just type yes, 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 I understand. Yes, yes, yes. No. Fisayo said, even though it's still backing up with error, no. If there is error, it's not backing up. All right, there's no issue of even though it's still backing up with error, doesn't mean the red ones. If it shows red, it didn't back up. Period. Does that make sense? Once anything shows red, it means it didn't work. Once you fix it, then it begins to work. Yes, Michael. Once you fix it, it begins to work. Francis says, sir, will there be any losses as to the red popping? No, there will not be red losses. James said, is there any possible to lose data with such an error? No. The data, now, let me quickly explain what James means. James is asking, is it possible to lose data with such errors? Your data is intact in the database level. What you are doing is backing up that data. Does that make sense? So try to understand it. Try to understand that. When Yekachi says, does it mean we have to fix our eyes on database to ensure that there's no error? Now, you're not going to fix your eyes on the database, okay? But your job requires you to check your as a database expert, you have to check and make sure there's no error. If there's an error, because your error message will help you. Let me refresh this. You can see all the popping heavy is green. Your error message will help you to decode the error. Godfrey says, if you are not watching it and it pops red, how will you know in order to fix it on time? Now, we are going to get to that point, but let me just quickly chip in this. There's what we call database mail that sends you a mail when there's an error. Does that make sense? Period. That fixes you. But sometimes when you get to the office, you resume Monday morning, 8 p.m., 8 a.m. or whatever, you check. Just look, once you resume office, you log into your server just the way I logged into my server now. You just come to your agent job here. Come to your SQL Server agent. Drill down to your job here. And just right click and click view. And you just check, okay, everything is green, 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 green. You come here like, oh, red, what happens here? That is where your troubleshooting begins. You know, what happens here? What happens here? What happens here? You click this. You can expand this to see what's going on. And this is when you now start checking what was the issue. But hardly will you have issues regarding, because I simulated this issue to show you what's up. Do you understand? I simulated this issue to show you what's up. Destiny, no, the red ones are not lost. No, they are just not, it just didn't back up. So if this red didn't back up, the next one up here backed up, the next one up here backed up, the next one up here. Do you understand that? Yes. So yes, this one's yes, this red didn't back up. So okay, yes, it didn't back up, but the other one's backed up. So you just continue. You understand? Smith says the data is already on the database, right? And it's just only backup. So you won't lose any data unless you lose it. Correct. That's it. Excel says, other than messing up the directory, what are the common issues to look out for? That's a very good question. On a normal day, you're not going to mess up with, you're not going to, mess up with your directory or mess up with anything there. Most of the time, what causes issue in backing up like this or in backup jobs like this, number one, is when the server cannot access the directory. Which if the directory is wrong, because sometimes the directory can be wrong, you would think it's right. Or somebody went there and probably messed things up. You didn't know that. Or the server can have access to that part. For instance, I was looking at you guys, I was on the chat room and I saw somebody, I think it's Traeger, that said if anybody had the issue before. Now that issue you had, Traeger, was at the fact that the system was trying to either back up or look for that particular folder, but it wasn't available. So it don't throw error and say system error, one thing. So majorly, what you will look for is to make sure your directory is correct, and then your server have access to it. So if your server doesn't have access to this directory, it's going to be an issue. Does that make sense? So those are the common errors. And then again, another error you will encounter is when you overlap. If you overlap your jobs, if you don't give your jobs space to breathe. What I mean by that is, if your full backup is, you can't, let me give you a very simple explanation so that you understand. One of the common errors is when your job overlaps each other. It means that there's a job running at 5 a.m. and then you put another job to run at 5:30. Because if the first job has not finished running at 5 a.m., it will mix the second one and there will be clash. Does that make sense? There will be clash. So a lot of times you have to give enough maintenance room. We call it maintenance window. Give them space to breathe so that when one is finishing, the other is, you understand? You have enough time to back up and do all those things. You understand what I'm saying? All right, Trigger said, so I have an error in the event log in my backup coming into my office this morning. Okay, so, and what if I'm checking the event log to find the error of the backup and I'm not seeing it? Is it possible to view the data with the backup? Yeah, you will see the error. Now let's quickly check what Trigger is saying. Okay, let's go to our event log. That's another very good place to check your errors, because let me tell you something. You want to be a mad IT expert, learn how to read errors, period. You want to be, in fact, try as much as possible to get as many errors. Because if you don't get errors, you will not learn how to fix them. All right? If you go to your event logs, for instance, on your server, you type event or event viewer. Okay? If you type event viewers, and then while we wait for this to open, Florence is asking, will I be able to recover the data from the red flag in my database that got deleted? In the first place, that red one didn't back up, period. Okay? That didn't back up at all. So there's no need. You understand? That didn't back up. Yes, Excel overcrowding backups, yes. And then somebody says, can we recover the error data in red color, or is still it didn't back up. Look, if you're trying to back up something and it gave you an error, it didn't back up now, period. You understand what I'm saying? Go back up in here. So there's no, it didn't back up at all. All right. All right. So let's go to Events Viewer. Let's go to Windows Log Applications. And let's check some possible place you will find errors. All right. Some possible place you can find errors. So let's go. Let's check. So you can see all this category, backups, 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 backups. All right, so you can see warning here. All right, so now you see, this is a typical, you can see what happens here. If you read this properly, it says the same thing, but in another different form. SQL Server, SQL job, diff, status fail, invoked, blah, 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 blah. But you will not see the details, all right? Let's check another one. Okay, so there's none here other than, okay, there's none here that has to do with backup. Let's go up. So all these warnings are failed stuff, are failed backups. Okay, you can see this, if it worked fine, you will see everything. You can see backup successfully processed, backup successfully processed, information. So trigger, you always find issues here, but majorly, if it's not a Windows Server issues, you might not, this place might not help you. You still have to go to SQL Server here. And in that manner, let's go to, let me show you something. You see what we call SQL Server logs here. Right click it, view, and say SQL Server logs. Now, you can also, so there are, now, what I'm showing you is that there are many ways, okay? I'm feeling hard. There are many ways you can check, you can see where errors are. You understand? There are too many places you can go look for errors. You know, you can see your errors right here if you right click on view history and check any errors. You can also come to your SQL Server log. This is under management. Okay, let me close this out. Under management, SQL Server log. Okay, today is 18. You can right click on the 18 and view SQL Server log. Okay, once you view that, you can see everything you're doing is there. So this is why sometimes if you say you do something and you didn't, if you didn't do something and somebody said, oh, you did, it's easier to know who did it. So you can see these are everything. You can see backup. Everything is moving gradually. You can see that. Let me see if I can look for anyone that messed up here. To say there's a, in fact, you can filter it. Okay, you can filter the error message also. Let me see if I can find anything that messed up. So you can see from everything, from the time your SQL Server starts, everything that happens, okay? It tracks everything. When it was starting up databases, you know, when your server was listening, when your temp DB was clearing, when the backup started here. You understand? So you can, a whole lot of information, all right? A whole lot. So that is that for that backup path. So as much as possible, make sure you understand. In fact, you have your primary assignment. Okay. Let me give you an assignment. Your primary assignment for this week, I'm not going to give you the 5 challenges for this week. Okay. Because I want you to dip yourself inside maintenance solution. You know why? 80% of what you're going to be doing revolves around this. Okay? 80% of what you're going to be doing revolves around this. So I want you to see how you can play around with this. What I mean by play around, let's use backup as this backup database as an example. It says select databases. The keywords are system databases, user databases, all databases, availability group databases, which are supported. Don't worry about that. And then the hyphen character, this hyphen is used to exclude databases. Okay, it means that if I'm here, let me create some new database. Okay, let me create DB1. Let me create DB2. Let me create DB3, and let me create DB4. Okay, so now I'm explaining your assignment, so don't come and boost me and say, hey, I don't understand. Play with it. This says this hyphen character is used to exclude the database. It means that this is the value, this is the description. If I want to back up all database, for instance, I want to back up all the databases. You know what I'll do? I'll copy this all databases. Let me close this out. Okay, and come to, let me use this full. Okay, let me edit this step. Instead of user database here, what would I type here? All. Sorry, all. It doesn't matter anyway. And then I can change my description so that I can understand it. All databases, all right? Now, I can decide to create a new folder inside the folder to say all, which I have to create. If I don't create it, it will drop an error. Does that make sense? All right, so I'm going to create, click open, and quickly I will come here to my C drive, okay, and create all. Let me put all here. I'll create the folder all, so that once I create it, you will see that once the job runs, it should be able to back up everything. All right, so let me refresh. Oh, shit. Let me refresh this job, and then I have, where's my all database? Okay, it's one of these ones. Let me see, which one is this? What's the steps? Oh, okay, so that is it. All right, so let me go back here and see user. Let's run it first and see if that works. Let's see if that works, if that works. All right, success. Did you see that? Did you see on the database now? Right? Now, let's remove this 4. All right, let's remove, or let's create a new database 5 and then exclude it. According to this documentation, let's exclude it. If you come here and say, where is it? Where is that? All right, so if you, like this one says, hyphen, back up all databases that have DB in the name, except this one, all right? Or back up all the user database, but don't back up this one. Does that make sense? So if you come here, let's just quickly create a brand new database, and then, or before we create it, let's even edit it. Edit, and say back all minus the database hyphen DB5. So we'll just quickly create that DB5 ASAP. Let's go back here and create DB5. Now, what I just did now, we have database backup, database 5, and then I excluded it, it means that it's not going to back it up. So what I'm saying in a nutshell, Elijah asked, can someone create a database on each user? That's not a good question. I'm trying to know. Create a database on each user. No. Each user can have access to as much database as possible. So you can create as many database as you want. I'm trying to understand the question, but you can create as many database as you want. Users, you can also create users that have access to those database. We're going to get to users, okay? So that is for the databases parameter. Play with it. When you come to directory, play with directory properly. Specify backup root directory, which can be your local directory or your network share. If you specify multiple directories, then the backup files are stripped evenly across directory. Multiple directory by using comma. If no directory is specified, then SQL will use the backup file. So now it means that, for instance, let's face this one that says if you specify multiple backup files, they are stripped evenly across directory. What does that mean? It means that you can actually back up your database in 2, 3, 4, 5 directory or folders. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so that will be your assignment. I'm not going to show you, but that will be your assignment. So now, based on this directory, okay, if you come here now, you can see it has backup, C backup, D backup. What does it tell you? It means that it will back up your database in two different folders or 2 different drives. All right, and you're going to separate them using this comma. Let me just quickly explain what I mean. Let's create that one time. Okay, let's go back to our C drive. Oh, this is getting full, so I only have this thing left. So I'm going to quickly just deactivate them real quick. Let me deactivate them real quick. All right, so just deactivate them. Let's see. Let me deactivate them real quick because they are really running my space. So that's why you have to be careful when running this, because you can imagine if you don't have enough space to run, they will just be running anyhow and popping heavy on your behalf. So yes, they are very fast. All right, so I think I'm good now. So let me go back here and delete this. Let me delete this, or let me delete the entire folder. Let me delete the entire folder. You see, it says it's too big. So you can imagine, let's check how many gig this guy has chopped now. 10 gig in less than how many minutes? All right, so let's delete it. All right, so it says too big, boom. All right, so my C drive should be a little bit freer now, you can see. All right, so let's now, the assignment is what I want to show you now, all right? We want to back up our database in 2 different, we want to strip them according to this documentation, all right? According to this documentation. So what we have to do, let's create, let's see, backup 1, and then backup 2. All right, backup 1, and then backup 2. So let's go to our job. Let's go to this all, I think this is all jobs. All right, so let's change this backup part. Let's change it to backup 1, comma, and then see the same thing Backup what? Backup 2. According to this guy right here. You understand it now? All right, so let's try it and see what happens here. Let's click okay. Okay, let me just edit this so that I will know that it's all backup. Okay, good. All right, so let's just start it manually. Let's see if that's going to happen or it gives us an error. Then we'll see how we can troubleshoot it. All right, success, right? Let's go back to our directory and see backup 1. So you can see we have backup 1 here. You see our folder, everything. And then let's go to backup 2. You see our folder, everything. Does that make sense to you? So according to this information or documentation, you can see I just did your assignment now. Okay, so play with as many as possible. All right, play with as many as possible, gradually, because if you read this, you will understand what is happening. Shegwen asked me that for every database you have created, must we create a folder to back them up? Yes. Not for every database, for every server. One folder is enough to back up everything. You can see we are on just one server, but I have, one backup file that backs it up. Does that make sense? All right. Afolabi said, or James is asking, how do we do this game thing across multiple servers, backup 1 and server backup 2 on DC? Now, don't worry about DC for now. Okay? You can see I'm not using DC, but I'm teaching you guys, right? I'm not using DC. But if you want to use DC, if you want to back up into your DC, which I don't really encourage because it's not best practice. Normally, James said, I mean doing things across multiple servers. Yes, if you're doing things across multiple servers, all you have to do, I taught you guys already, not necessarily DC. Yeah, all you have to do is the same thing, okay? If you're backing up across multiple servers, this is what you do. You remember? Server name, right? The drive and this. All right. Now, for instance, if I want to create a network path, you know what I mean by network path? Network path is when you use /. All right. If you go to your documentation, if you go to our documentation right here, this is a network path right here. Anything / is a network path or network share. All right. I can create a network path from any folder. I can say, okay, let me create a network path. Let me say James backup. And then right click on it. Okay, right click on it and say properties, sharing, and share. Who do you want to have as who are the people you want to give access to? The administrator read write, of course the owner has read write, and you click share. Once you click share, guess what? You just form the backup path. If I copy this right now, like this, okay, and come back, let me close this out, and come back to this guy and edit it. Step, edit, and put it here. And put it here like this. Okay, and put it here like this and okay, and then okay, and then let's run it and see if that backs up inside that James folder I just created. Okay, so it throws an exception. Let's see what the exception is. Let's see what the error. Let's see details. So it gave that. So let's check what error right now by using view. This is the error. And then let's go back. So let's check what the error is right here by making sure, okay, I'm suspecting where this backup, is. So it should be here. That is where I probably messed it up. You can see backup tag full after backup. Okay, so you go back there here. Let's close this out and check and make sure. But before then, you can just come here. Sorry, you can come to your documentations and check how this is done. Okay, and then you can now go back and edit it. All right, so it's so important you understand this. So let's see where the problem is here. Okay, I don't think I needed a column. I'm not sure. Let me remove it. Let me remove it and run it again and see what happens if we're going to have the same error. So let's just rerun it manually and see what happens. Another exception. Let's see. So now let me quickly answer the question before I move on. You see that when the error occurs, did you see any backup here? You didn't see any backup, right? So that's how it works. I don't know who asked that question. Now, would there be any data loss on red? No, because if it doesn't back up, if it shows red, then it didn't back up. You know, it's not going to work. Somebody quickly asked a question. It says, Said asked if excluding more than one database will be exactly. So if you have all database like this, except this and this, that will exclude just, in fact, with what you did now, it will only exclude the DB4 because the DB5 is not excluded without that hyphen. So get that straight, okay? And Falabi said, what happens if the available storage is full? Bros, if the available storage is full, your infrastructure guy, they have to talk to your infrastructure guy and check it out, okay? Your infrastructure guy will take care of that if it's full, okay? In case you forgot to stop backup. You don't have to, Falabi, don't go and stop backup in the office, so you will not stop backup, Neo. The backup will continue to run. That's why they have dedicated backup server. So at work, let me go to my instance here. So at work, for instance, you have a backup server specifically for backup. Nothing is there. So you will see that your infrastructure guy will spin up, will create a VM. Let me create a VM here and say backup server. All right. I'm creating a VM now, creating a Windows VM. All right, backup server. I'm going to give the backup server maybe 1 CPU, 4 gig RAM, 40 gig, for instance. Okay, and then let me create. So I'm creating a Windows right now. All right, Windows, and then finish. So at work, okay, at work, you have one dedicated server for backup, not just one, multiple dedicated server for backup. Does that make sense? You can see, let me see, this is coming up. Let me start it. So that is how it works for that. So somebody's asking again, who else? Okay. All right, so let's go back to that. Let's leave this, why this is, why that is working. Let me see exactly where the issue is right here. Let's go back to view. Let's go to our documentation and see what happened here. So you have server 1, server 2, server 1 backup. Okay, so you have network share, server 1. All right, so let's go back there and see what the issue is. Let's go back and check. So you have to be able to understand what you're doing before that. Let's even go back to that backup part. If let's see, James backup, let's see, share. All right, so this is correct. This is correct. All right, so let's copy it again. And then let's check our documentation to see. Now, you don't have to push C drive. You know why? Because it does. I don't think it requires C drive because it's a network part. You know, so probably because, let me see. No, I don't need a full stop there. Yeah, I don't need a full stop, but let's check it out and see what the issue is here, because here, so let's go and edit it. Let's close this out. Let's edit it by double clicking and then steps, and then come back here and see. So we're going to try something else and see what's going on. Let me just remove this first. All right, so the backup, Comar, this is correct. Everything looks good. So that's kind of why I'm wondering why it didn't back up. Let's go back there and then let's add this. All right, let's try that again and see if that will work. You know, but for the most part, that's how you can actually get it done. But let's just, yeah, let me edit it again and see what's happening here again. Let's edit it. Let's see. It's a simple fix, but it's kind of, let's go back. Let's remove this. Let's try it again. See, so this is how you start troubleshooting and making sure things are done or fixed. Another exception. Let me check the documentation properly. Local direct, okay, backup directory, local directory or network share. Let's see, command dot specify, so backup server. So basically, the reason why it's not backing up, it expects it to be from another server, but normally you ought to back up. Either it's another server or, hold on. Okay, I'm suspecting something. Let me see, let me check something out. Let me check the security. Let me check the security. System. Okay, so everybody has access. All right, so let's see this. Everybody has access. Everybody has access. Everybody has access. Let's close this. Check the last one. Everybody is an admin. Everybody's an admin. Everybody's an admin. So let's check. Yeah, everything seems okay. Let's see, advanced sharing, James backup. Let me see permissions. Let me see this, everyone. So everything looks good. Let me see this one. All right. So everything looks perfect. So that's why I was wondering why. Let's see, owners, you have read and write. Okay. Then you have administrator owner. Yeah, so everything seems good. So that is kind of strange. Let's go back to general. All right. Oh, hold on. So something now. Attribute read only. Okay, it doesn't matter. All right. So let's try it again and see. Let's see. Let me see this. So I have this parts here. I have this part here. So let's go back there and try it again. If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna not waste time on that. Let's see. Okay. Oh wait, let me pass it and see to make sure it's working. All right. Okay, so Let's see, the syntax near slash, see where the problem is here. Let me pass it. Let's see that, pass it. The issue is just on this side, which you have to make sure it's all correct. Let me go back there and use this one. Yeah, there have to be syntax error. So now, the purpose of this passing, all right, you see that, successful. It's kind of successful in this code here, but once I run it and it says failed, that's why I was wondering. Somebody says it didn't add. Okay. Somebody said I didn't add the question. Yeah, I added it. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave it like that because I don't know why that is taking much. You sure? Should be this. Let me see. Maybe that's the problem. Let's try that. Yeah, that's not it. That's not it. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave it like that. So in a nutshell, it's easier to, now the reason why this, I think the reason why this is messing up is because it's trying to make sure that you have a server running. So for instance, like this server name slash alphabet or the drive, and then so this is your setting. If you want to use this particular feature, this has to be your setting. I'm very sure everybody has this. So it means that you're backing up into this. You understand? It means that you're backing up into this. So please and please make sure you play with this. If you have any issues, let's just know how to, get it all done. But for the most part, it's super easy. When you're done with the backup, if you come to your integrity check, that's not that difficult because it's super easy. But I need you guys to understand how this works. Don't worry about anything that has to do with AG groups, because that's super advanced. We're going to get to that point. All right. And then the last but not the least for today, okay? The last but not the least for today is to try as much as possible to deactivate this so that you don't incur many space, okay? Because if not, if you don't do that, your space is going to full, and then you end up, yes, your storage space is going to be messed up, and then you just, so make sure when you're doing your practices, once you're done, delete it, and then if you want to do it again, you configure it, and then you go get it, set it up. So this, I'm going to send it to a group chat. Let's see, let me send it to a group chat to play with. 1 second, so that we can play with that, and then we be all set. Let's see. Where is the group chat? All right, good. Yeah, so as much as possible, please try to practice, okay? Practice is so important. Please, as much as possible. Any question? Yeah, stopping it after practice was my initial question. Yes, okay. Okay, so please try as much as possible to stop it, okay? And also, if you can afford to continue using Azure, just continue, okay? Continue using it. But if you cannot, then I would see what I can do to create a server for you. All right? Okay. But that was going to be as from next week, because I want to buy more machines, more servers, so that at least everybody here can have at least one server. Because basically what you need is just one for now. Okay? One for now. Then when we get to moving data from one point to another, then we have to install another SQL Server. So basically, if you want to install another, this is default instance. There are default instances, there's named instance. I don't know if you guys remember when you were installing, it will show you default instance, it shows you named instance, okay? With this, we're using default instance. For named instance, you have to still install SQL Server afresh, and then you name it. All right, somebody says, okay, so you're still having that. Okay, let me quickly go back to SSMS. Okay, Soji, if you're having issues with that, I will tell you, don't worry about it. Okay, but let's just quickly check it out and see what issue you're having concerning that. Okay. Yes, for now. And then I know the assignment I gave you is super easy and is a super fix. So I'm still going to send you more assignments. Okay, I'm going to send you more assignment. I know a lot of people are working, busy and everything, but I'm going to make sure I send you those assignments by tomorrow, Sunday, so that you can do a lot of practice, because the truth is, practice is what makes you perfect. Just keep practicing, because once you do it every time, it becomes, you get used to it. Okay. All right, let me connect to my server. You get used to it. Any other question? Any other question? Lady Omolola. Hi. All right. So what else? Let's go back to management and let's see what Soji is talking about. Maintenance plan. And let's create a maintenance plan here. And then let's say Soji plan. Okay, let's name it Soji plan. So Soji is saying my toolbox in SSMS is empty, right? All right, so now once you do this, when you put your mouse here, that is it. Did you see that, Toby? Soji. So once you write, let me close this again. Okay, once you right click, yeah, it might take a while to load though. Yeah, it depends on your, but it really depends on internet, really. Let's say SAMI plan. Once this is open, you put your mouse here, you click it, it pops up. This is what you see first. You see general and you see maintenance plan. All right, so don't go and click general, you'll not see anything. Maintenance plan is what you should click, then it pops up for you. All right, someone says, can you upload some videos when we started for the newbie to watch? Everything is on my Facebook page, and my Facebook page or my YouTube channel, okay? And Afolabi says, does IBM free certification include? No, it's endless. Yeah. And then, yes, thank you for reminding me about this certification. Please, in as much as we are trying to get certified, please, let's try as much as possible to understand what we are learning. Okay, don't just get the certification for certification's sake. It's super important to have those certifications, and we're just climbing. You know, Bible says, we're just climbing, because at the end of the day, those certifications is what you will need on your CV and on your LinkedIn profile. We're still going to get there. You understand? We're still going to get to that point, but we're not there yet. We're still going to get there. So that is what you will need in your profile. So it's nice, but please, as much as possible, try to understand what is being taught in those certifications. And for those of us who have that data science thing, that data science certification, I don't even have it. The certification you guys have, I don't even get that. I don't even have time to do it because I'm super busy. So please try as much as possible to get your hands dirty on it. And trust me, data science, database administration is their brothers, they are 5 and 6. Okay, and especially if you now add Python to it, and then Excel, you'll be all set. Before you know it, you are into machine learning. And look, this is a continuous learning. Let me quickly throw that to you. What I mean by continuous learning is that don't stop learning. Even if you know it, don't stop learning. Okay? You have to keep learning, because the day you stop learning, Okbari, for you be that. Okay? So take out time. That's why I didn't close that group, or that's why I didn't edit it, just to, I want everybody to communicate. That's why I just opened that group, and let's just gist and talk and just have fun and talk and gist. Because that way, if I have problem and you've encountered that problem, once I paste my problem in that group, somebody who had encountered that problem will help me and fix it. Like I said, remember, when you teach people, you learn more. So please take out time to also teach somebody, arrow deep into the person's account. And in terms of, when I mean arrow deep, I mean team view, use team viewer into the person's account. You understand? Team viewer, help the person, troubleshoot along with the person and help. By that, you are sharpening your own skills. You understand? By that, you are sharpening your own skills. You understand what I'm saying? By that, you are sharpening your own skills. So as much as possible, try as much as possible to teach each other, to learn, so that we can move at the same pace, so that we don't leave anybody behind. You understand what I'm saying? Any question of the day? Any question, please? Any question before we round up and call it a day? So I'm going to send a screenshot of us, put it in the group. You can put it on your page and just tag whoever you want to tag. Just to let's sensitize everybody as much as we can. People who wants to join. I know there are new people here who wants to join. So please take our time to show somebody, to teach somebody, to help somebody out. Before you know it, you are there. Trust me. Before you know it, you're just going to be there. It's as easy as that. Okay? So if you don't have any question now, somebody says, can you share the group link? Just 1 second. Let me quickly share that and see. Invite, copy, and then let me paste it to everybody just in case you don't have the group yet. So, all right. So, what else? All right. So, if you have any questions, put it there. No, for tomorrow, nope. Tomorrow is my resting day. I've been stressed all week. So, if there is, I'll let you guys know. But nothing for now, other than do your assignment, do your practices, and I'll send the assignment for this week tomorrow, because I know the assignment I gave you, it's a little bit not difficult. It's just for you to think twice and then get it done. Like I said, make sure you download that maintenance plan, install it, and then start playing with it. Because the truth is, if you don't play with it, you will not get errors. If you don't get errors, you will not be able to fix. Because once you get errors and you are used to those errors, then you will start learning more and more to how to fix errors. Because if you can fix errors, that's you just be the best. And also appreciate Google. Go on Google and put your errors there, and you see a lot of people who have gone through those errors. Read those errors, read their comments, and see how they were able to solve it. If you can't see anything tangible, remove it, bring another page. So that's how you learn. You have to expand. Like I said, it's a continuous learning. Learning doesn't stop. You're not going to stop there. You understand? You're not going to stop. Keep learning. It's not rocket science. Just keep learning and learning and learning and keep learning. For me to invest in trying to get 3, 4, 5 servers here for you guys to have access to VMs any time of the day, that's huge. So it's a learning process. As far as I'm concerned, this is a mad giveaway. As far as I'm concerned, like mad one. So please, as much as you can, encourage me also to, if I give you, assignment to do, encourage me by doing it. And by doing it, you are encouraging me. And by also doing it, you're also fixing yourself up. You understand? You're also fixing yourself up. I'm looking forward to the day where I'm going to have a huge office, which I'm also working on, to have a huge, mighty office and with screen all over the place. And then we can have hundreds and thousands of people studying at the same time. So it's gradually. So help me to help you so that we can move, forward. Okay. These things are not difficult. Let's move forward and God bless everybody. If you have any question, put in the group. I'll see you guys in the group. Thank you so very much. I need to go and rest. I'm tired. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it, guys. All right. Bye.